How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to your semi-weekly video on Valorant viewership and Valorant Esports following the announcement of the Ignition Series, a series of Valorant tournaments that'll be run by esports organizations and tournament organizers. And today, the first official North American tournament was announced. It is the T1 and Nerd Street Gamers Valorant Showdown, which will have a prize pool of $50,000 with the top team taking home $25,000 of that. It'll have 16 teams competing, with 4 of those spots being open to amateur teams, and it takes place from June 26th to June 28th. And while it's obviously great that amateur teams are being given a chance to participate, the prize pool does raise a slight concern. Yeah, this is only the first official North American Valorant tournament, but with a prize pool of $50,000, it makes me question if this is kind of going to be the, I guess, standard prize pool moving forward for events, because the top team taking home only $25,000 from an official Riot-sanctioned event doesn't seem like too much, especially since we don't know exactly how often these tournaments are going to be taking place. So if it's an interval like a month or two in between tournaments, I feel like that might not be enough to sustain a Valorant roster. You've got these big players from these big orgs that are probably being paid a pretty decent amount, and if you're getting anything less than first place, you're taking home less than $25,000, which might be a concern for pros moving forward. And of course, I gotta mention viewership again, because if we take yet another look at Valorant's Twitch page, we'll see that it's still slowly but steadily declining. It's sitting in between 60 to 70,000 viewers, with Hiko still dominating a pretty decent percentage of that, but with T1 having open qualifier spots in their tournament, maybe that could bring a sort of a spike in viewership and maybe even kind of even out the fact that the prize pool is only $50,000. But the prize pool and the viewership isn't the only concern for Valorant. There's also G2's Valorant Invitational, which has some pros upset by the selection of players and teams that are actually included in the tournament. Nell posted on Twitter and said that the first official event of the Ignition Series is still more so about influencers than it is about professional teams and players. And he says that at that point, it's not esports, it's entertainment. The G2 event still has pro players in it, sure, but the team lineup also brings a lot of streamers and a lot of influencers that might make this feel a bit more like a Twitch Rivals over an official Riot-sanctioned, top of the line, big, competitive Valorant event. And a few pros and teams who weren't invited to G2's event had a few things to say about it in an interview with Valorant news outlet Valorantify, and they weren't really happy. They spoke to Latex, the IGL for Valorant team Fabrican, who said, "It's just a huge letdown for me personally. I thought we were done with the whole streamer and clout tournaments after the closed beta. This should have been the first Riot-sponsored esports tournament, a place where the top teams would showcase themselves and their players. But instead, we see random teams. Also a huge shame because a lot of the invited players are content creators who have no intent on going pro in Valorant. There's a handful of big European teams that aren't going to be competing in G2's tournament, so maybe they went the influencer route in order to attract more viewership. But still, for a series that's supposed to be highly competitive and where we're supposed to be seeing the best of the best Valorant players duking it out, it seems like a slight miss on G2's part." Fabrican's coach Emil also added to what Latex said. He says, "A lot of very good players haven't been invited, so there's little to take away from an event like this. The competition is not at the level it could be, and when it's not team-based but pug-based, it makes it really hard to draw any conclusions." And of course, moving forward, we could very well be seeing tournaments that are a lot more representative of the best that Valorant has to offer, but for now, we're kind of left questioning their decisions to run a tournament with so many influencers and so many streamers. So for now, it might seem like Valorant is entertainment, not esports, but we'll see what the future holds, and if Valorant will rise to the top as a successful esport, or if it'll continue in its sort of decline. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all very soon. If you guys did enjoy this video, please drop a like. It helps us out a lot. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye-bye.